Are you experiencing positive toxicity? What is positive toxicity? Well, positive toxicity is when we just decide to not face what we're dealing with, that we decide to just stick our head in the sand like an ostrich and just not feel those awful feelings, or not face that negativity or that negative situation, just not face it or deal with it, and we just go, I'm just going to be positive. So it's like putting a band-aid, a positive band-aid on a wound and hoping that it sticks. Is it real? Is positive toxicity real? Well, it's definitely something that's being spoken about at the moment. You'll hear it across social media, psychologists are talking about it, researchers are talking about it, and that's the label they've decided to call it, is positive toxicity. Because you may even recall when it came in, when it was like, no, don't suppress your stuff, don't ignore it, don't push it down, be positive. Wake up every day and say, I am beautiful, I am gorgeous, smart, wonderful, my life is wonderful. And that's what a positive toxic statement is. It's kind of removed from the actual truth, and that's why it can be toxic. And here's how I like to explain it so that it becomes relevant to you, is that we have the critical mind, our survival mechanism. So all of that stuff that you don't want to look at gets triggered throughout our day, and it comes into our consciousness, and you're like, oh, I don't want to think about that, I don't want to feel that, I just don't want to deal with that. And rather than shoving it out of the way, or at least trying to shove it down and out of the way, instead of putting that positive band-aid on, we do something else. But let's look at that positive band-aid so that I can really get this relevant to you. The positive band-aid. Okay, so you decide to go about your day and fuck it, I'm just going to be positive. Stuff it. I'm just going to be positive. I'm not going to think about that stuff. It's a good day. It's a great day. I'm doing great. I look great. I feel like you're using that positive band-aid. And then what happens is your stuff gets triggered, whether you like it or not. So we use the positive band-aid. Oh, my life's great. Everything's great. Nothing to complain about. Like, I've got nothing to complain about. And then this little voice in the background through your survival mechanism, which I call the critical mind because it's critical. It's the lower centers of the brain telling you, bullshit, that's not true, that's not actually how you feel. You actually feel you're disappointed, you're pissed off, you're annoyed, you're frustrated, you're depressed, you're sad, you're lonely, you're jealous, you're upset. And the truth comes filtering through. And when we don't yet consciously, like when we're shoving it down, we're not conscious of it, let's say it that way. When you're pushing it aside, wanting to be the ostrich with the head in the sand, then what happens is, so we're no longer conscious of it, we're not face to face with it, being okay with it. It manifests as a physical sensation, or just feeling moody, pissed off. Maybe we just get upset suddenly with someone. Maybe we suddenly start crying and we don't know why. We're sad and we don't know why. That's why. So that's why the positive band-aid doesn't work, and that's why it's now called toxic positivity, because all it does is it's like an explosion waiting to erupt. Like your shit just comes up anyway. And it comes up really at the wrong time. And it comes up bigger, fuller, larger than life. And then we might have a nervous breakdown. Or what tends to happen is people go, what's wrong with me? I'm broken, when you're not. Okay, so what else do I want to say? Does it interfere with your happiness? Absolutely. It doesn't allow you to move up the scale of emotion, so it keeps us stuck. That's what a positive band-aid does, and that's why it's been called toxic positivity, because it keeps you in this holding pattern. Like you're pretending to be happy, you're telling yourself everything's okay, I just got to be happy and it'll all work out. I just got to be positive and it'll all work out. I just got to soldier on and it'll all work out. While this is bubbling away and brewing, and sometimes it filters through and it can manifest as physical pain or just agitation, right? So it's worth investing in a better way, isn't it? If it's going to keep you stuck here. So how do you move up the scale of emotions? How do you move beyond what you're not wanting to face and not have that become a reality? Oh, it's easy. You actually have got to sit with it. You need to get face to face with it. It's there. So the first thing we just say is, okay, hang on a minute. Stop. How do I really feel? And one of the best questions is, how do I feel right now? What is one word that tells me how I feel right now? Okay, I'm pissed off. Or I'm disappointed in myself for not being where I want to be. Or I'm angry at the world. I'm angry at this whole COVID thing. Now, okay, that's how you feel. Get straight with it. Yes, we have the capability of being positive, but that's not what we're doing right now, because that's just not going to work. If you feel pissed off, disappointed, angry, overwhelmed, depressed, like whatever the emotion is, just accept that that's how you can feel, do feel, that that is the go-to emotion for you right now. Okay, that's how I feel. So once you've got that, now you can say, great, what is actually truer than that? And from this place, you can move up the scale of emotions. And I don't like to call it positivity because of the fact that it could be labelled as the positive band-aid or positive toxicity. But you are feeling more positive because now you're not stuck and you're moving up the scale of emotions. So if it's, I'm just pissed off with this whole COVID thing, they're not managing it well, I feel robbed from my life, I can't get on with my life. Okay, honest appraisal of how I feel. Not making it wrong, not making it right, it just is. And from here I can say, well, what's truer than that? Well, the truth is it hasn't actually robbed me. That is a state of mind. That is a perception. Or if you're feeling disappointed in yourself, like it's taken you ages to get where you want to go because you're dealing with, I don't know, life getting in the way, procrastination, self-doubt, not taking risks, push, pull, forward, backwards, 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, whatever. Okay, that's what I'm dealing with. That's what I feel. But what's truer than that? What's truer than that is when I get in flow, when I get in the zone, I'm pretty good at this. I can actually do this. I can see that I can actually do this. So you've got to work with the truth. Find the truth, the truer truth, and work with the truth, not a positive band-aid. I hope that this insight is of use to you. Look, I'm not saying it's anything that you don't already know. Or if it is new to you, go back, listen to this again, and really just look at where you have this playing out in your life and where it interferes with you going where you want to go, where it's held you kind of under a proverbial glass ceiling, that stuckness. Just look at where it plays out in your life and allow yourself the freedom to create the ability to get free from that, the ability to look at what you're dealing with, what you're feeling, to be okay with doing that no matter how uncomfortable it might initially feel. Because the interesting thing is, no matter how shitty the experience, like I know I've had to look at some trauma and then I just will spend 3 minutes, I'll put a time, I'll go, let me look at that for 3 minutes, and I'll sit with it for 3 minutes, and then okay, what's truer than that? And I will evolve that. I'll create a breakthrough out of that awareness, out of that realization, and I'll allow that to take me into a new future. My name's Fer. I have the beautiful platform She Talks, which is for women. This was just something from my naked mind, a bite of insight, and I will bring you more soon. I'm wishing you all the very best at this time. Bye for now.